All right, so Fresno State just signed the 2026 football recruiting class. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is not nearly as exciting for me as I have in the past because of NIL and more importantly, transfer portal. All right, like when we signed Jalen Cropper in 2017, 2018, I was super stoked, so happy. Now I'm like, even some of the big names that we signed, I'm kind of like, we'll see. But I'll go down a list for you based on their rankings on the most popular recruiting site. That's 24/7 Sports. They have the best Fresno State forum on the planet. Check it out. If you're a Bulldog fan, it's called the Park Board. And it's runner Jackson Moore. You cannot beat him. He also does the latest recruiting. But I'll just go down the list based on stars and where they're from and so forth. Highlighting this list, of course, is Deegan Rose. We flipped him from Oregon State. Local guy went to Clovis High School, which we've signed a few guys from local players have always believed that local players should be the best just because their friends and families will show up that adds their attendance. But now in this age of transportal NIL, if a guy wants to play in front of his friends and family, that's really not something the likes of, Oregon or whatever can really offer very well. So yeah, he had offers from Arizona, Arizona State, Arkansas, Auburn, Boise, Cal, you name it. He had offers from everybody. But he, wanted to stay home. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. If he can stay and be live to his potential, we can have another star quarterback that we've been starting for since Jay Kaner. Based on what he said and the quotes he made, he wanted to play in front of his friends and family. It's going to mean a lot to him. He's not the only quarterback we signed. We also signed a quarterback from Rancho Cucamonga, a 3-star rating guy, Jacob Chalmers. He had offers from San Diego State, Washington State, Rice. So, obviously both of these guys aren't going to stay. I mean, maybe one of them switches position like Steven Comstock did, but I don't know. So we'll see what happens with them. We signed a running back, Jardis Lucky from San Ramon, 3-star rating, 5'10", 195 pounds. Had offers from New Mexico, San Diego State, Washington State, Air Force, Nevada, among others. Another huge guy, might be the steal of this draft, Xavier Owens from... Right now he's in New Orleans, Louisiana, 3-star 88 ranking. Had offers from Arizona, Arkansas, Auburn, Penn State, San Diego, Boise, Georgia. I mean, this guy to me was the steal of the draft. This was the big get, and I'm hoping that Devontae Adams can really, keep this guy at home, keep this guy here. This dude has a lot of super talent. I think next year we'll start seeing more wide receivers just because we had a bad batch this year, excuse me. We signed an LRC from Anaheim, Maxwell Borchillon, 6 foot, 182 pounds, 3-star recruiter. Not a lot of flipping from Sacramento State. He's a typical 3-star guy, not fully developed yet. Tied in Bryce McDaniel, 83, another similar spot, 6'3", 210 pounds, tall, thin, still growing. Offers from Wazoo, San Jose State, New Mexico State. His parents at the Fresno State went to a lot of games there, so he might just stick around. He's from Houston, California. Another tight end we signed is from Modesto High School, Zane Grebo, similar set, 6'4", 214 pounds. When you're at Fresno State, you recruit a lot of players, that are not fully developed yet, as opposed to 5 and maybe stars and some high foreigns. But, that's why he calls himself a developmental program. So we'll see. That's what the coach wants to do, and hopefully some of these guys pan out. We're going to go through another tight end, Dallas Guinness Agu. I can't pronounce his name. But yeah, he's from Omaha. 6 foot 10, 210 pounds. For similar range to the other tight ends I mentioned. Now we'll get to the offensive lineman. Alex Rivera from Lovington, New Mexico High School. Offers from New Mexico State, Nova Arizona. 6 foot, 290 pounds. Offensive lineman Efrain Sulula. Offers from Washington State, Northeastern State. 6'1", 280 pounds. Probably going to be a defensive interior lineman from Utah State. Defensive lineman Solomon Baker, 3 stars. Edge, 6 foot, 250 pounds. Offers from the likes of Eastern Michigan, Sacramento State, Western Michigan, so forth, Wyoming. So notice that I'm mentioning players from the Midwest. They did sign a few players from the Midwest than you would expect from Fresno State, but that's what you would expect from a staff like this. Now, defensive end Jake Plummer Three-star, 6 foot, 215 pounds, edge, offers from Miami of Ohio, Missouri State, Northern Illinois. This guy is from St. Louis, Missouri. So again, Western Michigan, so on and so forth. Cooper Willoughby, another edge, nationally 6 foot 3, 245 pounds, offers from Utah State, Nevada, Boise, Colorado State, San Diego State. So bunch of Mountain West teams that we leave behind that now go into the Pac signing. This is another thing you see from moving the Pac is that players who are choosing between the Pac and the Mountain West are generally speaking choosing the Pac. I also think getting the Pac move also got us Deacon Rose. All right, Brendan Huddleston, another guy from Missouri, 6 foot 2, 245 pounds, defensive edge, flip from Northern Illinois. Again, school going to the Mountain West. This is school in the Pac. Obviously from Hawaii and among other schools. Linebacker, another one from Ohio. Nebraska. 6 foot 2, 200 pounds, Jaden Sutku. Offers from Washington State, Air Force, Northern Illinois, San Diego State, and South Dakota State. Now we're getting some more local players. I have a linebacker from Azalea, Sebastian Stacy. 6 foot 2, 230 pounds, offers from Syracuse, UNLV, Colorado State, San Diego State, New Mexico, San Jose, and Sacramento State. Mostly Mountain West schools. Again, chose Pac. Based on what I've seen, he says, quote, "I've always wanted to be a Bulldog. My first impression of Fresno is so great. I love it. The fan base is so supportive." And now I'm going to go over some other guys. That linebacker, Franklin Lockhart from Tulare Union High School. I couldn't find anything that he was, looks like Fresno State was the only guy offering him. 6 foot 2, 162 pound linebacker. Gotta grow. Guy from Pittsburgh, California, Truly Bell III. 6 foot 2, 185 pounds. Again, cornerback's gotta grow. He had offers from San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose, UNLV, and so forth. Again, we're seeing a similar type of pool from players. I mean, every once in a while we see a player like from Georgia, Oregon, but these are the same type of pools that Fresno State is finding with Pac, for Mountain West schools, lower end P4 schools. And it looks like they're doing a pretty good job getting them. Another guy from Covina, California, Isaiah Lucio. 6 foot, cornerback, 6 foot 1, 180 pounds. Again, got to do some growing. Guy from Modesto, was Alfred from Sacramento State now, is Chase Perino. I think, is that his brother? I'm not sure. I don't know, I can't find it here. He's, 6 foot 1, 180 pounds. Again, all these linebackers, secondary guys are going to look very similar. Another player from Covina, California is Robert Lucio. 6 foot, 200 pounds. I'm not sure where they'll put him, but a guy of that build can grow into anywhere. Long snapper from Fresno City College, Ethan Rossetti. 6 foot, 250 pounds. One last guy that I've seen is from Clovis is Maddox Merrill. He's going to be a preferred walk-on. He had offers from Portland State, Georgia State. 5 foot 9, 195 pounds. Not sure where they'll put him. Maybe at fullback. So that is the class as it stands right now. There will be other walk-ins. There'll be a transfer portal, players leaving and players going. But this is just the current recruiting class. As I said before, there are a lot of places in the Midwest that you generally don't get from Fresno, from Missouri and Omaha, Nebraska. The headliner is Xavier Owens and Deacon Rose as planned. I don't think Rose will start next season, no matter how talented he is. So this is kind of when I want to see Coughlin get the start at the in the bowl game, because I think he is our best shot to have the best option available when you start the season off next year. I don't think you'll get anyone better than him from the portal. I don't think that Rose is ready to start as a true freshman. Maybe Mandel will be healthy. He'll want to do that. I don't know, but this is the class that we have. I'll link to the Barkboard YouTube page so you can hopefully start following that channel. But these are all on paper right now, future Bulldogs, and we should all wish them the best.